Shalom, I'm Miriam Peretz. Dear Bushey Community, I hope you are keeping safe and well. I'm so sorry that because of the corona, I could not be with you this Yom Yerushalayim. Despite that, I hope you will enjoy this film. Chag Sameach, Yom Yerushalayim Sameach from Israel.
אנחנו בתוך העיר העתיקה.
שמחתי הר הבית בידינו, כאן תמיד הר הבית בידינו.
Jerusalem, the golden city never forgotten, the beating heart of Jewish faith in every generation. Jerusalem, the city of peace, where you can feel the divine presence like nowhere else on earth, the focus of Jewish life and prayer. Jerusalem, the old new city, for the old and renewed people.
Yom Yerushalayim Sameach, Yerushalayim Shel Zahav, Yerushalayim Ir HaKodesh, Yerushalayim, Jerusalem, the place that I called home for 11 years, in which I was enriched, immersed, and absorbed with the great merit and zechut of living, learning, and beginning a home in Yerushalayim. Friends, Yerushalayim is the place in which heaven meets earth. It is the locale of all of our tefillot across the world, all of our prayers directed towards Jerusalem each day. Yerushalayim, the gratitude and appreciation to the Almighty and to Medinat Yisrael that we were able once again to have sovereignty over the one place on earth which we consider to be the center of the world. Ki mitzion tetzei Torah udvar Hashem Yerushalayim. From out of Zion shall go forth the law and the word of the Lord from Jerusalem.
Hello friends from Bushey. I'm standing here in our wonderful old city of Jerusalem, wishing that you could all be here with me. I'm standing here by the wonderful representation of the golden menorah that was in our temple, and behind me is the restored Colover synagogue. And as war broke out, the Jordanians took control and no Jew could come into this wonderful place to daven, to pray, until in 1967, when God did the most amazing miracles for our people. To the extent that when people talk about the 6-day war today and they look back at the history, they can't understand it. They truly don't understand how could it be. And yet in 6 days, Hashem allowed us to destroy all of our enemies and take back our holiest place. For me to be able to come back here to the place where my grandfather was born, it's more than anything that I could ever have imagined. It's more than anything that people who came out of the Shoah, came out of the camps and the Holocaust, they never even believed that there would be a country here. And if we look at our history, we look at what we've been through, and we look at our journey, no other nation throughout history has been exiled, scattered around, and yet after 2,000 years of complete destruction, of wandering from one place to another, we held our faith, and after 2,000 years we came back here through unbelievable miracles. When I hear the recording, I wasn't alive, but when I hear the recording of Har HaBayit Yadinu, the Temple Mount is in our hands. When you hear the recording, the soldiers saying that, when you see the pictures of the soldiers standing there, that famous picture of those two soldiers, when you see the picture of Rav Goren, the rabbi of the army, blowing the shofar at that moment, I'm too young. I wish I was there. But for me to be able to come here freely, to be able to pray at the Western Wall, and hopefully in our days we will see the final Geulah, the final redemption, and we'll be able to rebuild our temple in the place where it's supposed to be. I hope to see you all there. Yom Yerushalayim Sameach.
אלייך כל ימיי, אני הולך אלייך מסונבר, האבנים פוצעות את כפותיי, אבל אני איני מרגיש דבר. אני חוזר מארץ לא זרועה, מושיט ידי ללטוף את שערך, הנני כאן אך כמו יונה פצועה, אני נופל תמיד מול שערך. הנני כאן כמו ציפורים חגות, הנני כאן מביט מן הגגות, הנני כאן כמו אבן בגדר, כמו סלע, כמו באר. אני האיש אשר תמיד חוזר, חוזר. אני חוזר באלף גלגולים, אני נזיר בין מלך וקבצן, ובלילות בבכות השואלים אני חולם וארבח בו בזמן. אני רואה אותך הרחוקה כמו נסיכה שבויה במגדלים, בין סורגים יושבת ומחכה. אלוהים, האלוהים גדולים, הנני כאן כמו ציפורים חגות, הנני כאן מביט מן הגגות, הנני כאן כמו אבן בגדר, כמו סלע, כמו באר. אני האיש אשר תמיד חוזר, חוזר. ואת חיכית כמו האבנים וכמו הבור להלך במדבר, זריחות רכות נשקו אותך פנים, שקיעות כבדות נשקו אותך צוואר. כך ראיתיך יושבת ומצפה, ובעינייך אור ועצב רע, כך לקחתיך איתי אל החפת היחפה עם כתר של זהב. הנני כאן כמו ציפורים חגות, הנני כאן מביט מן הגגות, הנני כאן כמו אבן בגדר, כמו סלע, כמו באר. אני האיש אשר תמיד חוזר, חוזר. אין ספור שבילים ויציאה, רושם בתוך יומן מסע, להתערבב.
Dear Bushey Community, I hope you are keeping safe and well. I am so sorry that because of the corona I could not be with you this Yom Yerushalayim. Despite that, I would like to dedicate you a video I made for the Jewish community of Panama. I hope you will enjoy this film. Chag Sameach, Yom Yerushalayim Sameach from Israel.
Miriam Peretz.
פרץ הייתה ממקימי היישוב גבעת זאב, ניהלה שם בית ספר וכיום מפקחת במשרד החינוך. מרים אם ל6 ילדים. בכורה סגן אוריאל פרץ נפל בקרב בלבנון בשנת 1998. בנה השני, רב סרן אלירז פרץ, סגן מפקד גדוד בחטיבת גולני, אב ל4 ילדים, נפל בעזה בערב פסח 2010. מרים בחרה להמשיך בחיים.
הקיר הזה היה בו רק אוריאל, אבל לצערי כשנפל אלירז הייתי צריכה לפנות מקום גם לתמונות של אלירז. וכאן כמובן העץ של גולני, עץ עם שורשים, ועם שיש לו שורשים, וילדים שיש להם שורשים של אמונה ואהבת התורה ואהבת הארץ. שום דבר בעולם לא יעקור אותם מהמקום שלהם ומהארץ הזאת. זה בית הכנסת על שם אוריאל, הבן שלי הבכור, שהיה קצין בסיירת גולני ונפל בלבנון ביום הולדתו, בהיותו בן 22 שנה. כאן לא רק לומדים תורה, אלא לומדים לענות כמו אוריאל בני על השאלה למה. למה להתגייס לצה"ל? למה להילחם? על מה? מה זאת הארץ הזאת? מה זה העם הזה? זכיתי שיבנה בית כנסת על שם בני הבכור אוריאל. ואני עכשיו מאוד מאוד רוצה לזכות לראות את הבניין הזה, בית אלירז קם. אלירז, בכל פעם שהוא הגיע, הוא לעולם לא הלך הביתה. דבר ראשון, הוא נכנס לבית המדרש. הוא נכנס ללמוד תורה. הוא נכנס לחזק את הרוח. כאן אנחנו עומדים ליד קבר שמואל הנביא, שצופה לכל ירושלים. והנה, דווקא ביום ירושלים, כ"ח באייר, הוא יום ההילולה של שמואל הנביא. ולמה? כי שמואל הנביא חזה את ירושלים. שמואל הנביא המליך את דוד המלך, זה שהקים והפך את ירושלים לעיר הבירה. כפי שחנה הקדישה את שמואל לאלוקים, בניי הם קודש לעם ישראל. הם וכל חיילי צה"ל, כשהם יוצאים לקרב, הם יוצאים למלחמת הקודש של עם ישראל על ירושלים הזאת. זה מלון 7 הקשתות. כאן אני יושבת עם חיילי צה"ל, ואנחנו שרים קבלת שבת. את קבלת השבת אנחנו עושים מול הנוף היפה הזה, מול הירושלים הזאת. ואני מספרת להם שגם אני, במרוקו, שם נולדתי, חלמתי שיום אחד אגיע לירושלים. זכיתי להגיע אליה, אבל לצערי גם שילמתי מחיר יקר על החירות הזאת להיות כאן בירושלים. אבל אני כאן בשביל להיפגש עם הדור הצעיר, ותובעת מהם, בנו את העיר הזאת. תמשיכו. אתם חוליה משרשרת הדורות. תמשיכו לבנות את העיר הזאת. ירושלים שלי היא מגדל דוד. זה מגן הדוד שנמצא בכל דגל בישראל. זה סמלה של עצמאות מדינת ישראל. אבל דוד בשבילי הוא גם בני דוד. אלירז בני בנה את ביתו באלי. הוא בחר לגור באלי וללמוד שם בבני דוד. ואנחנו כולנו בני דוד, בני העיר הזאת, בני ירושלים הזאת. ירושלים הזאת חיה, ולא רק כאן, היא חיה גם בלבבות הילדים בפנמה, והילדים באוסטרליה, והילדים בניו זילנד, ובכל מקום בעולם. ירושלים שלך, המלך דוד, ממשיכה להיבנות בלבבות. אני נזכרת בחתונה של בני אלירז. אתה יודע מה הייתה החופה שלו? דגל ישראל ענק. ולימים כל בן שהתחתן, זאת הייתה החופה שלו. דגל ישראל. הילדים האלה שמטיילים בירושלים, זה משמעותה של עצמאות, של חירות. זאת ירושלים. כל פעם שאני באה לכותל ואני דורכת כאן על האבנים, אני יודעת שכל אבן שאני דורכת עליה, היא נקנתה בדם. הקדוש ברוך הוא, אני מקבלת באהבה את מה שגזרת עליי, אבל עכשיו אני רואה את הטובות שאתה עושה עמדי. והנה טובה אחת גדולה, העיר הזאת, הכותל הזה. ירושלים שוקקת חיים, ואת החיים האלה אפשר לראות כאן, בשוק עצמו. אנשים ממשיכים לחיות, לקנות, לאכול, ליהנות, ואני חושבת שזה הניצחון הגדול. אם האויב חשב שהוא קוטע את החיים, להפך. הנה, אתה רואה את העם ישראל ממשיך לקנות, לאכול, לאהוב וליהנות מהחיים. תסתכלו היטב על העץ הזה. זה עץ שנראה שהוא נגדע. מישהו גדע אותו, שאין לו אפשרות לפרוח. מתוך החורבן שעבר על ירושלים, ומתוך החורבן שעבר על הבית שלי, יש תקווה, וזאת הנחמה. זה הקבר של אוריאל בני, הבכור. ושם, בכניסה השנייה, זה הקבר של אלירז. ואני כל פעם מתלבטת, לאן ללכת? אני עומדת כאן, ואני שואלת את עצמי, איזה ילד יקבל חיבוק ראשון של אמא? היום אני הולכת לאלירז. כל פעם אני מוצאת כאן מכתבים שמשאירים לי אנשים. מרים היקרה, אחרי שקראתי את הספר שלך, הבנתי. קראתי על חייהם של בנייך אוריאל ואלירז. למדתי משניכם, אוריאל ואלירז. למדתי על אהבת הארץ, על כיבוד הורים, ולמדתי על עוד דברים רבים. אם אדם בא להר הרצל ויוצא לכאן ולא עושה שינוי בחייו, אז אין טעם. הם נפלו כדי שנהיה טובים יותר. הם נפלו כדי שנוכל לבנות את הארץ הזאת. הם נפלו כדי שלא נשכח שאנחנו אחים ויש לנו גורל אחד משותף. זה בעיניי בית החיים. ואני בטוחה שהקדוש ברוך הוא ברגע הזה שאני עומדת פה במדרגות, גם הוא בוכה. אני בטוחה. הוא לא רצה לפגוע בי. הקדוש ברוך הוא לא רצה לפגוע בי. אבל אני שומעת אותו אומר שכדי לבנות את ירושלים הזאת, אנחנו נצטרך להקריב קורבנות. ואני עונה לקדוש ברוך הוא, עין במר בוכה ולב שמח. אבל כשאני יוצאת מכאן, אני נוטלת ידיים, ואני יוצאת לחיים, ולבוא לומר לכם, נכון, כאן קבורים. כאן קבורים כל אלה שלחמו על הארץ הזאת. אבל תדעו שעכשיו הדרישה מאיתנו, מכם, לחיות לאורם. לאור הגבורה שהם השאירו לנו במסירות הנפש. לחיות למען כולנו, למען עם ישראל. אני, מרים פרץ, מתכבדת להשיא משואה זו לכבוד הנופלים, מגיני העם והארץ, לחיילי צה"ל וכל כוחות הביטחון העומדים על משמרתם, לכבוד אוהבי הארץ ובוניה, המאמינים בצדקת הדרך ובצור ישראל ולתפארת מדינת ישראל.
To be getting married overlooking the old city of Jerusalem. One of our most memorable moments of our chuppah was listening to the following words being sung.
words were written over 2,000 years ago by King David, and they mean that if I forget Jerusalem, then Hashem shall forget my right hand. Even at the height of Simcha, even when life could not be better, we still have to try and remember how Jerusalem used to be. Even though when we got married it was the most beautiful day, it was the most beautiful scenery, the most beautiful city in the world, it isn't what it used to be. Once upon a time we had a temple, once upon a time we had free reign over the whole city, and life couldn't be better, and we don't have that anymore. And so we take these opportunities and we mark the occasion on this day to realize and to remember how important Jerusalem is in our lives and in our hearts.
Though adopted and raised in a faraway place, the first time I entered your loving embrace, I felt even then that this marked my return to a birth mother's arms that answered my yearn. And I know you're there daily without visual signs, though I've physically seen you but a handful of times. I don't see or touch you, but deeply within, I know we're connected, most deeply akin. There's no other place with this strength of connection. When praying, I turn and I face your direction. You're in every path, easy straights and hard corners. You're there both at weddings and when comforting mourners. Filled with passion and strength, beauty and art, and a spirituality that beats in my heart. You're traditionally ancient, but modern and new. Jerusalem, you define who I am as a Jew.
What does Yerushalayim mean to me? It means the Ir HaKodesh, the holy city of David, the old city, the centre of the ancient homeland of the Jewish people. From Jaffa Gate via the Shuk, we arrive at the Kotel HaMaravi, the western or Wailing Wall, the remnant of our ancient second temple destroyed by the Romans. It means the shrine of the book, which safeguards the ancient biblical parchments, the Dead Sea Scrolls. It means Yad Vashem, a permanent memorial to the 6 million Jews annihilated in the Shoah. A defiant marker in Israel's capital that this will never, ever happen again. It means never forgetting the massive human sacrifice to re-establish the land of Israel and build the state of Israel. Its numerous wars, battles for Jerusalem, to protect all its Jews in the past, today, and in the future. It means shopping streets, tree-lined boulevards, markets and trams. It means beautiful architecture. Old means modern. Places to live, work, learn, shop, pray, socialise and tour. It means arts, culture and entertainment. It means sport of every type. You just need faith. Yerushalayim means whatever you want it to be. L'shana haba'ah b'Yerushalayim. Next year in Jerusalem.
So my thoughts on Jerusalem. This is Neil Diamond, nice Jewish guy with his thoughts on Jerusalem. I first went to Jerusalem just after the 6-Day War in July 1967. I went with my dad. Here we are. It was very precious for me and it gives me great memories of my dad and how important Jerusalem was to him and to all the people who didn't know what was going to happen in the 6-Day War time. In this song, Neil Diamond talks about how he's searching for Jerusalem, but there's so many other things that can get in the way and distractions. But is Jerusalem going to be there for him? Does it close? I don't think it closes. I think it's there for us. Jerusalem is open for us and we must be open to Jerusalem. So thank you to all the people of Israel for all that you do, and happy Yom Yerushalayim.
What Yerushalayim means to me? Yerushalayim is home. Libi b'mizrach, my heart is in the east, my heart is in Jerusalem. I wanted to share with you two pictures. One is of our family as we were leaving Eretz Yisrael, as we were leaving our home in Jerusalem to come to be with the United Synagogue. And the other is us returning when Reuven had his bar mitzvah last year as a family. Every time, whether we're coming or going, Jerusalem is home. Jerusalem is home for us all. Jerusalem is that special place that we all go to and that we all long for. And please God, we will all return there very soon to Jerusalem in peace, in safety and in good health. Yom Yerushalayim Sameach.
Yom Yerushalayim this year falls on our 5th anniversary.
And we got to know Jerusalem fairly well over that time. The part of Jerusalem that we visit most frequently, regrettably, has been Hadassah Hospital. Having said regrettably, what we can only take away from there is the amazing care and of all staff from all religions, from all levels of personnel within the hospital. They keep me informed at all times, and I couldn't want for anything better than the treatment that we receive in my part of Jerusalem.
But it's not just about the destination, it's also the journey. And from Modi'in, the journey to the Hadassah complex is truly amazing. We leave the urban city and travel through the valleys and the hills of Yerushalayim, surrounded by beautiful air, wonderful forests and trees. Jerusalem is our eternal, undivided capital, and please God, it will remain so. Wishing you all at Bushey a wonderful Yom Yerushalayim.
Jerusalem is of course important for all sorts of religious reasons, historical reasons, cultural reasons. But for me, it's also important for legal reasons. It's the home of the Israeli Supreme Court, a magnificent architectural structure which is designed with straight lines in order to show the path of the law, but with curves to show the path of justice. And it's in Jerusalem that the Israeli Supreme Court has set an example throughout the world of how judges can promote the rule of law. They can protect human rights, and they can protect constitutional values. It is a shining light unto the nations.
When I was 18, I lived in Jerusalem for 6 months as part of the Machon Leadership Programme with BYO. I would often wander down to the Kotel, which was a 25-minute walk from my base in Tel Piot. Jeff Seidel, who runs the Jewish Student Centre in the Old City, would approach me and other young students and say, "Have you got a place for Shabbos?" Since 1982, Jeff has introduced thousands of Jewish college students to their first Shabbat experience, and I would nickname him Mr. Jerusalem. 30 years on, when I was marrying Cedric, he always dreamt of having a call-up by the Kotel, and I contacted Jeff Seidel. Jeff said, "Go to the Kotel one morning and ask for a guy called Shlomo." So that's what we did. And when Cedric walked into the men's section, he said to the first guy he saw, "I'm looking for a guy called Shlomo." And guess what? This man said, "That's me." And he walked Cedric to a minyan, and Cedric got his call up just before the wedding.
Hi everyone, so here I am in Haifa, like a petrol station in 40-degree heat, so thought I'd shed some positivity and give you my input on what Jerusalem means to me. To be honest, it's like just a really holy and family-oriented place for me. It reminds me of my parents and of my mum, and it's a very spiritual place for me. We always go to the Kotel when my family come to visit, and I love it and I miss it. And I remember in year 9 when we were blindfolded and the people who had never seen Jerusalem before, they just cried, and hopefully I'll go there soon.
I'll never forget the time I first visited the Kotel and stood in front of it, an experience I will never forget, and of greater relevance possibly is watching my nephew several years later daven and laying at his bar mitzvah from the Sefer. Again, an experience I will never forget. It leaves you feeling extremely connected to your religion in a almost unique fashion that you can never really ever get anywhere else.
Shalom. My experiences of visiting Jerusalem have always been of happy times. Entering the old city via the Jaffa Gate, immediately seeing traders selling those beautiful smelling breads. Walking down the steps through the Arab market, their wares never seeming to change in all the years. Wandering around the old city during the Festival of Lights with friends. Always finding another small street or alleyway you've never discovered before. Meeting family to eat and drink in Mamila with the occasional, seemingly spontaneous crowd singing and dancing. And of course, the precious visit to the Kotel. standing in reverence amongst your own people, a truly shared experience. That's what Jerusalem means to me. Yom Yerushalayim Sameach.
I've only been to Jerusalem once, which was my first time in Israel. I'd never been brought up in a truly religious way. And when I had my bar mitzvah, I never really felt connected to the Jewish religion. But on my first trip to Israel, when I went to Jerusalem, standing in front of the Kotel was the first time I truly felt connected with my religion. Felt incredibly emotional, saying the prayer and the Shema for the first time for my family. What an amazing experience, amazing place.
Jerusalem means to me is everything. I remember visiting Jerusalem with my family just after the 6-Day War, and we went to that wonderful city, and when I got back, that city had such an effect on me that my father bought me a single, an old 45, and it was an acoustic version of Yerushalayim Shel Zahav, and I used to play it on my record player all the time, over and over again. It felt very emotional. I remember even then, age 9 or 10, getting very teary, because at that young age I had an idea not only of what Israel meant to me, but also what that city did and still does mean. And that's why Jerusalem, not only to Israel but to me, is everything. Thank you.
It's that overwhelming feeling you get as soon as you enter that city. The architecture, the beauty, the people, the buzz, the diversity, yet that sense of calamity you get despite all this buzz. It's something that you just cannot describe until you visited the beautiful city of Jerusalem. We love Jerusalem, and it will always have a special place in my heart. I take my family every year when we go, and we visit the holy city every time. Yom Yerushalayim Sameach to all.
In 1984, as a newly released IDF soldier, I had the opportunity to work with American youth groups coming to Israel for the first time. In one particular group, on a Friday evening, we got to the Kotel Maravi, and I'd just given them this rousing motivational speech about how the Western Wall, how the Kotel Maravi was the backbone for this amazing Jewish family. And we were all one great big family with the Kotel as our background. And at the end of the speech, one of the girls comes up to me, a girl from New York, and she said to me, "You're not from around these parts, where are you from?" And I said to her, "Well, just a small town in the north of England." And she said to me, "Oh, that's amazing. My family have just discovered that they have relatives in a small town in the north of England." And with goosebumps rising up my arm, I said to her, "It wasn't a place called Macclesfield, was it?" And she went, "Yeah, that's it, that's right." And so there we were, standing by the Kotel Maravi, the background for the backbone of the Jewish family, discovering long-lost family and relatives. Jerusalem clearly is our spiritual home.
Two abiding memories of Jerusalem. The first one was in July 1967. As a volunteer, I went to see the wall for the first time after the June War. And my second is being able to lead a British contingent of marchers who had been on the 3-day march in 1970, where we paraded down King George V Street into Jaffa Street to the wall itself. And that was a memorable occasion.
Jerusalem is special for me because I first went there when I was 10 years old. I was taken on a tour and taken to the end of what was now King George Street and shown the Mandelbaum Gate. Jerusalem was in the hands of the Jordanians, and that was all I was allowed to see, except I had an uncle who lived in Jerusalem a little bit further round, and I was taken to a garden by a very old lady who said, "Stand on this stool," and she very, very gently pulled out a tiny, tiny brick in the wall, and I was allowed to look in at the old city. It was a picture I will never ever forget. And she very cautiously and quickly put the stone back. And that was the memory that I had of the old city. It was 1966. I next went to Jerusalem when I was 16 on tour, as everyone does. And no one could understand why, as I went into the old city, I burst into tears, as I do every time I go. Jerusalem is a magical city. It's beautiful. And we're very lucky now to have it back. And I think of the brave, brave soldiers who fought to get our beautiful city back for us. And I thank them every time.
My great-great-grandfather, Yaakov Mandelbaum, had a brother, Simcha Mandelbaum. Simcha, with his wife Esther, looked for a property that would accommodate his 10 married children and guests in the old city. He chose to build this house at the end of Shmuel Hanavi Street, and the house was named the Mandelbaum House. During the 1948 War of Independence, the Mandelbaum House stood between the Jewish neighbourhoods and the area under Jordanian control. Mandelbaum's widow, Esther Lieber, and her family members abandoned the house on less than a day's notice after being asked to do so by the Haganah. The Haganah then took up residency and repelled Jordanian attacks in the surrounding neighbourhoods until a ceasefire was signed. After this, the house remained on the Israeli side. In July 1948, the Jordanians attacked the house with a huge quantity of explosives, and the building collapsed with 35 Haganah members inside. Part of the front wall with the entry gate remained standing until 1967 as a memorial to the divided Jerusalem. Outside this gate was the official crossing between Israel and Jordan. The crossing was named the Mandelbaum Gate after Simcha Mandelbaum's house that stood there from 1927 to 1948. This became the official checkpoint between Israeli and Jordanian sectors of Jerusalem, just north of the western edge of the old city, along the Green Line. It existed until the 1967 Six-Day War, and no one with an Israeli stamp on their passport was allowed through it. This gate, this checkpoint named after my ancestor, prevented our access to the Kotel. Therefore, the gate became a symbol of the divided status of the city, and thus was destroyed immediately after reunification. Only a historical marker remains. The memory of division had to be obliterated immediately. Yerushalayim must stand unified for the rest of time. The concept of one Yerushalayim as our recognised capital is of key importance to me. The root meaning of Yerushalayim is Ir Shalom, city of peace. And today, on Yom Yerushalayim, the city should be seen as a symbol of harmony and prayer for all Jewish people and for all other nations. During this difficult time, I pray that everyone remains safe and well. Chag Sameach.
Of all the places in the world, it's the one place that Jews can really feel at home. When I go to Jerusalem, I get a feeling of belonging that I can't really describe, and a feeling that I don't have anywhere in the world. It is truly a very, very special place, and for me, really the centre of the universe. Happy Yom Yerushalayim.
I first went to Jerusalem in the summer of 1966. My uncle said he would show me the old city, or whatever he could show me, and we went to the Mandelbaum Gate. I looked over through the gate at rubble on the other side. That was the Jordanian side. I thought how terrible that a wonderful city like Jerusalem couldn't be open to all of us. My next visit was in 1969. I'd gone because I was planning to make Aliyah, but this time I was able to go to the Kotel. Just a little passageway led you there, not a great plaza as you have now.
I've been back to Israel lots and lots of times, and every single time I have to go to Jerusalem. I'm drawn there. It's the most wonderful city. As you walk into Jerusalem, especially into the old city, you just feel the glow. Happy Yom Yerushalayim.
I first visited Jerusalem in 1985, when I spent 2 wonderful months in Israel. The city held a mystical fascination with its thousands of years of history. But for me, it was actually visiting Ammunition Hill and, for the first time, firsthand, understanding the battles that were fought to secure Jerusalem. The bravery of the soldiers, whose total self-sacrifice in taking the strategic hill to ensure success was truly humbling. Jerusalem is beguiling, and its beauty is for me encapsulated by the song Jerusalem the Gold, Yerushalayim Shel Zahar, which I first heard many, many years ago, and to this very day it still inspires me.
Jerusalem is probably my favourite city in the whole wide world. I absolutely love the architecture, both modern and ancient, and the vibe, the personalities, the religions that you see all mixed together in the whole city, and particularly the old city. One thing I love to do when I go to Israel is to visit Jerusalem, and particularly the Western Wall. And to be able to do that is a huge privilege for us. And it's this day, Yom Yerushalayim, that celebrates our opportunity to be able to go to worship at the Western Wall. Yom Yerushalayim Sameach.
For me, Jerusalem has always been about one word: life. My father was born in Jerusalem at Shaarei Tzedek, the hospital that I now fundraise for. At the Kotel, I remember as a 10-year-old child begging for a baby sister, and 9 months later my sister was born. And it's a place where I've asked some of life's biggest questions, and the answers always seem to come. So for me, Jerusalem is life itself.
עוד ישבו זקנים וזקנות ברחובות ירושלים, ורחובות העיר ימלאו ילדים וילדות משחקים ברחובותיה. Once again, men and women of ripe old age will fill the streets of Jerusalem, and young boys and girls will fill the streets playing there. For me, the opportunity to live in Jerusalem was second to none. To see the generation who came in 1967 and battled their way in to liberate Jerusalem. To walk the streets of the old city. To go to the Shuk Machane Yehuda market every week to do my shopping before Shabbat. To see people from all corners of the earth flood to the city, to this ancient capital city of the Jewish people. All this was not only to see the very prophecy come to life, but to live this wonderful prophecy of redemption of one of the famous prophets of Israel, Hanavi Zechariah, the prophet Zechariah.
I always find a sense of peace amongst the background noise of prayer, tourism and everyday life. A place of spirituality covering not only our Jewish religion, but Christianity and Islam. That shiver that goes down my spine when I'm at the Kotel and I recite the Shema. Watching my family leave messages for Hashem in the cracks in the wall. Jerusalem, a place that I and my family keep revisiting every time we go to Israel. The special place in our hearts that we celebrated Benjamin's bar mitzvah. That is what Jerusalem means to me.
I love being in Jerusalem. I love the sights, the sounds, the smells, the tastes. Everything about being there feels familiar. My sister lives there. She lives in East Talpiot with her family. And so it's lovely to go and visit and be with them. I love the history of Jerusalem. I love the feeling of seeing aspects of Jerusalem when I read the Torah, when I read different pieces of Jewish history. Jerusalem's a very special place, and I love being in Jerusalem.
How can anyone try to express just in words how much Yerushalayim means to them? And therefore, I will do so with song for you on this beautiful and important Chag, this important day of Simcha and Hakarat HaTov and appreciation for Yerushalayim. Ki mitzion tetzei Torah udvar Hashem 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 Yerushalayim. Yom Yerushalayim Sameach Bushey. Wonderful to celebrate and to appreciate and to commemorate with you.
כי שירי הוא בת קול ברוח, מכתבי השלוח, מסילת חיי, געגוע את תפילותיי. כי שירי הוא עלה ברוח, הנידף השכוח, הוא האור הרך הנפקח בלילותיי. הוא אתה הולך אליי, בנדודיי חולפות עליי תמונות ונשמות, ושמות שמות, אתה בא והולך אליי. עלתה סביב, הלוואי שאתה מקשיב, אולי, אולי, אולי אתה בא והולך אליי. בדרכי הולכים איתי בא והולך אליי, אולי, אולי, אולי אתה בא והולך אליי. כי שירי הוא משב הרוח, חלוני הפתוח